Hello everybody and welcome to another Train Simulator 2015 video. Today we shall be driving a pair of 2-car class 456 electric multiple units from South Croydon to London Bridge via Norwood Junction, calling at all stations. This is a career scenario, so we will be scored on our driving performance, and the narration for this video has been produced in the edit. To start the activity, we need to open the doors by pressing T, and then we need to set the train up by pressing W to put the train into forward gear, and press Q to acknowledge the automatic warning system, or AWS. Finally, we need to press H once to switch on the headlights. Now that we are ready to depart, we will firstly release the brakes by pressing the colon key and gently accelerate from step 1 to step 4 on the power controller. If we were to jump straight from step 1 to step 4, then the game will penalise you for drive quality, so this is why we have to open up the power in stages. There is a 45 mph speed limit coming up, so at this point we will shut off power and let the train coast. As we approach East Croydon, we will now prepare to stop, and braking is controlled by pressing the AT key. The brake on the 456 is a 3-step West Coast brake with release, step 1, step 2, full service and emergency position. When using the brake on the 456, you have to be quite firm when pressing the button. East Croydon is located in Fare Zone 5 of London's Travel and Oyster Card region. It opened on July 12, 1841 as Croydon. The station has also been known as Croydon East in 1850 and East Croydon Main in 1909, before the current name was adopted in 1924. The station was rebuilt twice, firstly in 1895 and again in 1992. Since 2000, the station has become an interchange with the Croydon Tramlink. Not long after departing East Croydon, there is an upcoming speed limit of 40 mph, so when we reach 40 we will shut off power. As the line to Victoria via Clapham Junction diverges to the left, we head off to the right and join up with the main line that sees trains coming in from West Croydon, Caterham and Sutton. Encountering a steep gradient, we prepare to brake for the upcoming 30mph speed limit. A constant eye must be kept on the speed, as the train has a tendency to run away. We pass Selhurst Depot, used by Southern to stable and maintain their large variety of trains. Southern's fleet consists of classes 313, 442, 455, 377 and 387 EMUs, and also Class 171 Turbostar diesel multiple units. Selhurst is responsible for looking after classes 171, 377 and 455, plus numerous departmental stock. Go via Thameslink Class 319 EMUs are also stabled at Selhurst, but they don't receive any maintenance. The depot was built on the site of Croydon Common Athletic, where Crystal Palace Football Club played between 1920 and 1924. The depot was expanded in the 1980s when the surrounding marshalling yards closed following a decline in freight traffic. We approach Norwood Junction, platforms 1 and 2. In the simulator, doors are opened on platform 2, but in reality doors are opened only on platform 1. The station opened on the 5th of June 1839 under the name of Jolly Sailor. It was renamed Norwood in 1846, and in 1910 it was given the long name of Norwood Junction and South Norwood for Woodside. Its present name was adopted later the same year. On the 1st of May 1891, a cast iron bridge that carried the railway over Portland Road fractured and collapsed whilst a train was crossing the bridge. The locomotive made it across safely, however most of its carriages and the brake van fell through the gap. Fortunately there were no fatalities, with one serious and a further 4, including the guard, were reported with minor injuries. Annerley, located in Travel Card Zone 4, was opened in 1839 with the use of a double N in the spelling, though it was dropped to a single N a year later. It's just a short hop from here to the next station at Penge West. Penge East is located on the Orpington line. Penge West opened in 1839. Since Norwood Junction, our speed limit is now increased to 60 miles an hour, but we won't be reaching that speed today. The Class 456 was built by British Rail Engineering Limited in York, and 24 two-car units were introduced to Network South East between 1990 and 1991. They replaced the elderly Class 416 slam-door stock, which had been in service since 1955. Since 2014, the trains have since been transferred to South West Trains. The line converging from the left is a connecting link with a branch to Crystal Palace as we approach Sydenham. The station opened in 1839. There is also Sydenham Hill on the Orpington line. Forest Hill opened in 1839 as Dartmouth Arms, taking its name from a nearby inn. The station was also known as Forest Hill for Lordship Lane. The London, Brighton and South Coast Railway buildings were destroyed by World War II bombing. The narrow island platforms that used to serve the fast lines were demolished in 1960. The Class 456 featured 2+3 high-back seating. They were refurbished by Southern between 2005 and 2006, but this was criticised for the decision not to include any passenger audio or visual announcement systems, as opposed to the Class 455s that were refurbished about the same time. In common with the 455s, the 456s are driver-only operated, and drivers check for safe closing of all the doors by using mirrors and video screens, just like London's Underground services. C2C, Chiltern Railways, Thameslink, Great Northern, Greater Anglia and First Great Western also run driver-only operated services across the London suburban area. Honor Oak Park opened in 1839. Since Forest Hill, we have entered Fare Zone 3. Brockley in Fare Zone 2 opened in 1871. You may have noticed, since Norwood Junction, the stations are using a London Transport roundel. This is because we have been travelling along part of the extended East London line from New Cross Gate. Until 2007, the East London line was part of the London Underground, until the line was closed, upgraded and extended north to Highbury and Islington, and south to West Croydon, Clapham Junction and Crystal Palace to become part of the London Overground network. This forms an orbital route that links the North, East, South and West London lines together and is operated with Class 378 Capital Star EMUs. New Cross Gate opened in the 1830s and was originally known as New Cross. The gate suffix was added in 1923 when today's New Cross opened on the South Eastern Railway. On the right is New Cross Gate Depot, used for stabling London Overground trains. When the East London line was part of the London Underground, the East London line had a small depot at New Cross. Major maintenance on the veteran A60 and A62 stock trains were carried out on the Metropolitan line at Neasden. The speed limit now drops down to 30 miles an hour whilst we change tracks. There is now a brief section of 45 miles an hour as we join the South Eastern line from New Cross. line from Clapham Junction joins from the left. In order to run a large amount of trains in central London, the signals become noticeably closer, and therefore in the rush hour it's not unusual to see the train in front. We pass a South Eastern Trains Class 375 Electrostar, built by Bombardier in Derby and introduced at the turn of the century, replacing the old Sandor EMUs which had been in service since the 1960s. The South Eastern franchise is currently held by Govia, who also run the London Midland, Thameslink and Great Northern franchises. Southern Trains is part of the Go Ahead group. We are routed into the terminal platforms at London Bridge, and our speed must now be reduced down to 20 miles an hour and 15 soon after. Out of all the mainline termini in London, London Bridge, now in Fare Zone 1, was the first and opened on the 14th of December 1836. However, it wasn't the first station to be opened in the area, as Spa Road in Bermondsey and Deptford stations opened in February of the same year, as the opening of London Bridge was pushed back due to the delays of building a bridge over Bermondsey Street. Since then, the station has had a complex history of ownership changes and rebuilding work. The tracks that continue beyond London Bridge head off towards the two termini of Charing Cross and Cannon Street. Interchange is available here with the Jubilee and Northern lines, as well as riverboat services from the nearby City Pier. We have now reached the end of this scenario, and I hope that you have enjoyed it. Please feel free to leave your feedback by rating and commenting below, and if you wish to be notified on when new videos become available, you can subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter and Google Plus for further updates. Thanks for watching and take care.